Crazy Kurt. It's the day after Christmas, and I got this bag of books, and I got this bag of books from my favorite place. What place is that? Oh, you're going to have to stick around and find out. How much did I pay? Or I should say, how little did I pay for these 11 graphic novels? Again, stick around and find out. That's what we do around here. The more you stick around, the more you find out. I'm Crazy Kurt. This is Crazy Kurt Comics. All right, so hopefully you stuck around, and because if you did, you're going to find out what I did here. So a day before Christmas, I got a box, I should say. Now, on TikTok, I do a lot of videos on TikTok. What I like to do on TikTok is I like to do a video where I get a box, I do a big box dance, and I say, what's in the box? And all that kind of stuff. But I needed the box to wrap a present. So I needed the box. So I used the box, meaning that I couldn't do the video. I didn't have time to do a TikTok video. I needed the box in order to wrap something for Christmas. So this is not going to be your normal what's in the box video. So I decided to do it on YouTube. And we're going to talk about some books that I got from my favorite place. So what's my favorite place? It's not my favorite place, but it's the place I get really amazing deals. Like if you go to the LCS, if you're buying a book off the wall, chances are it's already at a premium. If you dig through the bins, you might have more knowledge about a book. Like this is kind of worth something, this is kind of not. Sometimes your LCS has sales, so you can kind of get a good deal on something there. Every now and then, hey, I tell you, I preach this all the time. I search Marketplace, Macari, even eBay. Sometimes you think eBay, there aren't any deals on eBay. There are deals. You just have to constantly look. And you get something that's well worth below market value, and that even includes with the shipping. But the one place I consistently find stuff, but you have to do a lot of looking. And it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for single issues, grails, you're probably not going to find anything. Like, you're not going to find a magical 9.8 at shopgoodwill.com. But on shopgoodwill.com, you can find a whole kind of graphic novels. Every now and then an omnibus. You can get large runs of stuff, for pennies on the dollar. So in this particular case, I got 11 graphic novels. Now, what 11 graphic novels did I get? I'll give you a clue. I'm wearing a shirt. There was originally a trailer you may have seen. But check out all this stuff I got. So this is like Road to Rebirth Superman graphic novel. And if you look, this thing is in pristine condition. It doesn't even look like it was read. No stickers on it or anything. Now, this is a $19.99 book. Look at that. Make a zero in there. See that? Look at that. That's just awesome. So this is like Road to Rebirth, the final days of Superman. So this is going from New 52 Superman into Rebirth Superman. And then the nice people at shopgoodwill.com, they gave me, see if you can zoom in here. But that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first 4 volumes of Rebirth Superman. And let's go through them. We got The Son of Superman. Again, pristine books, nothing wrong with them. These things are awesome. We got The Trials of Super Son. All right. Then we got Multiplicity, Volume 3. And then we also got Black Dawn, Volume 4. So there we go. We got the Rebirth Superman. Got Superman shirt on. Like I said, you may have recently seen a trailer. Maybe more in the trailer after this part of the video. All right, now into the second bag. We got Wonder Woman. This is Volume 1, Rebirth. Some good stuff here, man. Then we're going to switch over to Marvel for a second. We got 2 Guardians of the Galaxy books, brand new. All right, these are each $21.99 a piece. Then we got some more we got Superboy. All right. Then we got New 52 Superman. So that's before the Rebirth stuff. All right. This is the New 52, and it doesn't say Krypton Returns, right? This is Scott Lobdell, however the hell you pronounce his name. Sorry, buddy, if I mispronounced it, which I'm sure I did. And then we got The World Against Superman, Grant Morrison stuff. Some good stuff here, man. This is Action Comics 1 through 10, all packed up into this big graphic novel here. This is a $24.99 graphic novel, and this thing, again, perfect condition. All right, so we got 11 graphic novels, all right? We got 1, 2, we got 4, 5, we got 7 Superman graphic novels. All right, we got a Superboy graphic novel, 2 Guardians of the Galaxy graphic novels, and a Wonder Woman graphic novel. That's 11 graphic novels, all brand new. Ready? I'm going to put it up on the screen here. Look at that. That's with shipping, people. $39.30 for 11 graphic novels. That equates to roughly a little less than $3.60 a graphic novel. I don't know what comic book person in the world would pass that up. Nobody wouldn't pass it up. I am guarantee almost everybody would take that deal if they had the $39 to spend. Yeah, that would be my only argument. Now, my only argument is you wouldn't buy that if you didn't, only because you didn't have the $39 to spend. But for $3.60 to get all 6 issues of the first 6 issues of Wonder Woman Rebirth? Come on, people. What are we doing here? We're collecting comics. That's what we're doing. So I'm pretty sure a lot of these I don't have. You know, like if you don't know, I have see right here, look, I'm going to take a little peek. Look, oh, lights off, but you can take a look. Oh, you know what? I am so sorry for shaking. Ah! We're earthquake! Earthquake! Oh, shit, it's an earthquake! No, it's not really. It's just me shaking the table. All right. So, turn the light on here. You can kind of see over my shoulder, peek into it a little bit. If you can't tell, that is a comic book room behind me. Yes, it's an old storage closet we made. God damn it with this table. Yes, we're having another earthquake. I'm living here in San Andreas, California. No, not really. It's Salt Lake City. We do live on a fault here in Salt Lake City, but that's a story for another time. All right, so we got comic books in the back. It's a comic book room. I made it a couple years ago. I got back into comics. It was a whole big thing. Moved from New Jersey to Utah. But that's a whole other story. You can check another video for that later. So I'm slowly, because I'm running out of room in here, I have, if you can barely see it right here on the side there's some bookshelves, and there's 35 short boxes. And 35 short boxes, if I had to have the all 35 short boxes filled to the max, I would say the capacity that's left is probably 20%. So if you took each box, about 20% is left of each box that I can fill in and fill stuff in. If you're buying comic books every week, I even try to trim down what I buy every week, but if you're buying comic books or your LCS every single week, it just builds up after a while. So I have to start going through it and starting to eliminate, sell, even on pennies on the dollar, you know. But every time I go in there, there's something like, someone would say to me, get rid of all the image crap from the 90s. There's a million of it. Bloodstrike, Cyberforce, Wetworks, like all these crazy titles that no one collects anymore. But when I look at it, I pull them out, I'm like, I remember that time of comic books. It's like a sentimental thing. It's like, that was a great time of comic books, the 90s. I talk about the 90s a lot, people, so you have to just get over it. 90s and comics was like, that's when I started collecting. That was like the heart of me collecting in the beginning, and it was amazing. So I give away that stuff. It's like, oh. But yeah, I may have to just to be able to make room. So I'm slowly making the transition, buying more collected editions, you know. That's another thing about me you may not know. I had a big 20-year gap where I didn't collect. From 2000 to 2000, right around COVID, I didn't collect comic books. I was aware what happened. Like, I knew the things that were going on and characters did different things. I kind of kept an eye on it, but I didn't buy comics. I just had all my comic books that I collected the 10 or 12 years before that. And when I moved here, I made the room. I got back into it, and I got back into it heavy. I started buying all kinds of stuff that I missed throughout those 20 years. So I'm still catching up on things. Like, I know kind of what happens, but actually read them and go through them and experience them in my own way, I'm loving it, you know? So, and the artwork is amazing, and the stories are amazing, and you got all these great writers that are out. And so I've slowly building up this collection, and you really can't see here, but I'm going to try to show you. There is a bookcase there, and there's some more bookcases behind the door here that I built last year that I started filling up with all graphic novels. And those things are starting to get full. So I am really running out of space here. So I need to maybe get rid of some of the less important single issues, go more to collected editions. And then even there, instead of having 5 or 6 trade paperbacks, to just get the omnibus. So I'm slowly dabbling in omnibuses. This year, I bought my first 2. I never had omnibuses before. This year, I bought my first 2 omnibuses. When I say omnibuses, they're really, really thick ones. The ones that are like $100 or more. I was able to get a Superman omnibus, the Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason run. I got that for $50 on, of all places, shopgoodwill.com. So $50, and that was with shipping. So that was a pretty amazing deal. I recently got Ghost Rider, the Danny Ketch. I was a present to myself this year when it came out. I was able to grab it. Snagged the deal on, of all places, Amazon for $72. I got the omnibus for $72 one day. So that was an amazing deal. And just slowly starting to build up, you know, little things that I have, whether they're hardcovers or I prefer hardcovers, but if they're hardcovers or trade paperbacks, either way, good deals. I always got something good to read. And it's just fun to collect this stuff. So yeah, shopgoodwill.com. I talk about it a lot. because I just think you get a good deal, but you have to do your due diligence. And I say this all the time. If you've seen my other videos on TikTok, forgive me for being repetitive here, but you do have to do your due diligence when you shop on shopgoodwill.com, because sometimes it's 2 pictures, sometimes it's 10 pictures, and every Goodwill is run individually, but they all feed into the same website, which is the shopgoodwill.com website. And you have to just do your best at looking at the pictures. My general rule of thumb is if I'm buying single issues, I will not buy single issues unless they're already bagged and boarded in the pictures. Because if they're bagged and boarded in the pictures, my guess is someone donated them like that, and chances are they took care of them, which means hopefully Goodwill will take care of them. When they're not bagged and boarded, that's a whole scary other situation. There are times I've did that and I've come out okay. Like there's a book back here. It's Batman number, I want to say it's Batman number 312. It's the very first appearance of Timothy Fox. He goes on to become the Batman in the I Am Batman series. So that was a really good find. That's depending on what website you go to, that could be over a $200 book, if depending on how it's graded. And mine's a really good copy, and I got it in a lot of other crappy books for $20. I saw that one in there, and I saw the edge of it. I knew what it was. I paid $20 for a lot. Most of the other stuff in there was junk, but that one was well worth the $20. If you put that on a wall in an LCS and said this is only $20, it would last for about 5 minutes. So that was a good pickup. But that's the kind of thing you get when you get Goodwill, shopgoodwill.com. Other things I've gotten in the past, I've gotten huge runs. I've gotten issues 1 through 20 of something. They're just all in one big run. And sometimes they're slick over at Shop Goodwill. They don't put the whole thing in one listing. Here's 1 through 15. Here's 15 through 30. Here's 31 through 45. So you end up buying 3 listings. And it's an auction site, so there's so many books on there. Not everybody can possibly go through all the books all the time. Some people do. I do. I'm always looking for a great deal. So if I can find something where I can get the books, generally speaking, for $1 or less for a single issue, graphic novels, under $5. If it's something that I covet and I can tell by the condition, or at least the appearance of the condition, that they seem to be in really good order, then I'll go and snag some stuff. Almost every single thing here that you see on the shelves or behind me are all things I've either gotten at thrift stores. Utah is big on thrift stores, people. I do this other videos I do where I go to thrift stores and I find pop culture things, comic book related stuff. Everything you see here, like all the stuff behind me that you see here, thrift store, 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 thrift store. Everything you see behind me is all, and I'm probably zoom in on all thrift store stuff. I'll give you an example. Like, let's see here. See that Hulk? I got it for $5 at a thrift store. These are actually banks, but they look like statue busts. So I'm not going to tell anybody if you don't tell anybody. All right. Superman. Look at all those Watchmens. Yes, I have a thing about Watchmen books. When I find them in thrift stores, I buy them. I'm not a serial killer, I promise. Judge Dredd Funko for $1 I found. A lot of these books, I end up getting, like, all these books here I got for like $5 or $10. They were brand new in a thrift store. Obviously, the Omnibus I got at shopgoodwill.com. I mentioned that earlier. So lots of these things. And all these graphic novels that you see, except for maybe these right here, I got them as a gift. But a lot of these other ones, I got in lots of books. I go to Shop Goodwill. They might have like 10 graphic novels in the thing. You put them together. And this over the last 2 or 3 years, I've accumulated 5 bookcases worth of 5.5 bookcases worth of graphic novels and trade paperbacks and hardcover books. And that's just kind of what my deal is, and that's kind of what I do. And if you can't tell, I talk an awful lot, and you're just going to have to deal with it. Edit through the video. I'll take out segments of this and make them shorts. But great deal, $4, less than $4, $3.60 to be exact. And I got a whole bunch of Rebirth from DC and a couple Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy books. So how can you go wrong with that, people? Alrighty, let's talk the Superman trailer. Now, I like the trailer, and you know what? This is going to be somewhat controversial, but this is what I feel. I really like the trailer, but I don't want to see another thing about it. I don't want to read another article about it. I want to let the movie speak for itself. Too often, we talk to movies to death, and then we build them up so much, or we tear them down so much that they will never live up to our expectations, or they just come out to be something different than, I'm just going to let it be. and come in June and July when the movie comes out, I'm going to go experience it, and I'll give you a fresh take without any other viewpoints souring or building up my expectations. So that's how I feel. I liked it. I liked it good enough to know that it looks decent, but I'm going to let the movie speak for itself. And that's my thoughts on the Superman trailer. All right, thanks for sticking around. Here in the comic book room, I got a lot of stuff I got to do. But hey, shopgoodwill.com, you want to make sure you check those comics they have there out, because you never know, you may find something good. I always say, hey, depending on where you live in the country, whether it's a yard sale, garage sale, flea market, thrift store, you always want to stop by because you never know what you may find. I found those 11 graphic novels at shopgoodwill.com, and it was a pretty cool deal. Alrighty, I'm Crazy Kurt. I'm out of here like Vladimir. Peace!